Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Michelle here. So today I have another nursing video for you guys. I'll be sharing with you guys how I got my job in the ICU as a new grad and how you can achieve the same goal. Stay tuned and let's get into this video. So how I got my job in the ICU. So my senior year of college, of nursing school, literally around this time last year, that is crazy. Around this time last year, I was doing my clinical practicum, also called a senior synthesis in my school. This is where I worked one-on-one with a registered nurse on a designated unit. This is where I achieved 10 and 12-hour shifts. So it was just me and the nurse working. It's more hands-on, you're getting more experience. So this is where choosing the right unit is important. So by the time you reach the senior year of nursing school, you should kind of have an idea of like what kind of nurse you want to be. Since the first semester of nursing school, I always knew that trauma was where I wanted to be. And it's probably all due to Grey's Anatomy because that's just such a bomb show. I was just so fascinated with trauma, emergency care, all that great stuff. So I knew trauma was in my periphery. Come senior year, I had the choice to choose 3 units I wanted to attain my experience on. And of course the surgical trauma ICU was one of my options. So background, I was a care partner, a CNA if you would call it, on an acute care trauma unit. So I've seen what the acute care side looks like. I've seen what the typical med-surg side of trauma nursing looks like. And I had not had an experience on an ICU. So I advocated for an opportunity to have my synthesis on an ICU. I told them how passionate I am about trauma nursing and how I believe that that's where I wanted to be. But because I've not had the experience on an ICU, it would be very beneficial that I have this experience on that unit. I got my synthesis on the surgical trauma ICU unit. So during my experience, I fell in love with the ICU. You only have 2 patients, it's critical care, you're constantly thinking. It was just so interesting, and then I saw my first code. My adrenaline was pumping, I was in there doing some compressions. It was just so exhilarating for me. And so you know what? I was like, Michelle, this is what you have to do. This is where you want to be. I told the nurse I was working with that I was interested in working on the unit. He encouraged me to apply, so I went ahead and applied. But I had not told anybody I applied. The application was just sitting somewhere in the billions and thousands of other applicants my nurse manager had to read through. And so he encouraged me to talk to the nurse manager on one of our shifts. And this was like the second to last shift that I had on the unit. And so I was really hesitant because she's the nurse manager, I'm nervous, I'm just a nursing student, but my preceptor encouraged me to talk to her, so I did. I knocked on her door, I told her how I had applied to the unit and how interested I am in the unit, and she, right then and there, asked me to set up an interview. And it was that simple. I went in for my interview, and you guys, I was just so nervous. She asked me why I wanted to work on the unit. I told her that trauma has always been something that has been interesting to me. I told her my background as a CNA working on the acute care trauma side of this hospital and how I'm familiar with the population, and so this would be an easy transition for me. And also I've had experience working with one-on-one with my nurse this semester, so I kind of have an idea of like what to expect. So I told her all those pros and why I wanted to work on the unit and blah blah blah, and a week later she calls me and tells me I got the job. You've heard my story and how I got my job. Here are some tips for you to also get the job on the ICU as a new grad. Your nursing school should be affiliated with a designated hospital. Since you're familiar with that hospital, I would encourage you to apply for a nursing tech job or a CNA job while you're in school, just so you can have your foot in that door, if that's the desired hospital you want to work on. Apply to a level 1 hospital. Teaching hospitals, level 1, it's most likely a teaching hospital. They love students. That's why they're a teaching hospital. So, being a new grad, they have the opportunity to mold you into who they want you to be. Do not think, oh, I don't have any experience, I'm most likely not going to get this job. as long as it's a level 1 hospital, your chances of getting the job is very high. They like molding students into, molding them into the nurses they want them to be. And since you're fresh, they want you. When it comes time to do your senior synthesis or your clinical practicum, advocate for the specific unit you want to work on. Let's say you want to work on the neonatal ICU. Really advocate for it. Tell them why you want to work on it. Once you get it, you have your foot in the door, just network. Apply to the job as soon as you can. I know for me, I remember I started applying for jobs before I graduated school. So around April, that's when I started applying for jobs, and I graduated in May, so about a month before. But try to apply for the jobs as soon as you are eligible to do so. The faster you apply, the more likely the nurse manager on the unit you desire to work on might see your application. So apply as soon as you can. So those were my tips. Hopefully that helps you get your job. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and let me know what you thought about this video. Thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.